My dear viewers, I must come before you right now and ask for your forgiveness. Your forgiveness for the sin you are about to witness in this kitchen. For today, we are making ketchup-filled macaroons. Now, number one, I have never made macaroons before, so this will be fun. Number two, I did not fully read the ingredients for this recipe before I picked it. It is so much worse than you are thinking. So let's find out. Okay, here for our ingredients, we have a cup and a half of almond flour, a cup and a half of powdered sugar, about 1.5 eggs worth of egg white, and about 2 teaspoons of red food coloring. And then over here we have 3/4 cup of regular sugar, another 1.5 eggs worth of egg white, and 1/4 cup of water. Now these are just the ingredients for the macaroons. Here for our filling, I said it was going to get worse. It gets so much worse. We have 1.25 cups of ketchup, about 10 cornichon pickles. If you don't know what those are, they're the little tiny pickles that you get on a charcuterie board. Some gelatin to hold it together, and then a few drops of sriracha hot sauce to taste. I'm not kidding. That's what the recipe says. A few drops of hot sauce to taste. I ask you, what taste? Let's find out. All right, new adventure in baking, new camera angle. So first step, you're going to blend together the almond flour and the powdered sugar, and then you're going to pour in 1 measure of the egg whites and the food coloring, but don't stir those in. Just let them sit there. Then you're going to take the regular sugar and the water, put them in this little saucepan here, and start heating them up. While that's heating up, take the other measure of egg whites, put them in the bowl of an electric mixer, and start whipping them. You're going to whip them until they form stiff peaks. If they form stiff peaks before the syrup is done, then stop it and wait. You're going to cook the syrup until it reaches 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why I have this little thermometer here. Once it reaches 250, start whipping the egg whites again, and then pour the syrup on them while they're whipping. Then you're going to keep whipping those egg whites until they drop down to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. I would recommend that you do have a thermometer on you. I've never made macaroons before, but I know that they are very touchy. So getting these temperatures off will mess them up. So let's get started. Okay, that's it, 250. So I'm going to start up my egg whites again and then pour that in there, and we'll switch camera angles. So as you can see, I've got stiff egg whites here. So I'm going to start these up again, grab our little syrup and pour that in. You want to make very sure to take this directly off the burner and pour it in immediately, because the syrup will thicken very fast. That last little bit of residue is already stuck to the inside of the pan here. It's not coming out. So, you have like 20 seconds at the most once you take it off the burner. Okay. Then about 115. So, it's just about what we want. So now, going to take it out, and we are going to gently, I'm knocking stuff over. Yeah. And now we are going to gently fold in this almond mixture. So don't use an electric mixer, just by hand. Okay, and now that that's done, we're going to pour that mixture into a piping bag and squeeze out little cookie rounds that are about over an inch wide onto parchment paper lined baking sheets. That's very important that you use parchment paper. And then you're going to let those sit for half an hour so that the cookies get a kind of crust around them before they bake. And while we're waiting for that, we're going to make the filling. Out of character warning, this got very messy very fast, so I needed to take my hands off. Okay, there we go. If you didn't believe me when I said it's my first time making macaroons, take one look at that tray. But, like I've said before, I'm just making these for myself. I don't really care how they look. And you shouldn't either, really. Life is not about perfection. So, we're going to let those sit for half an hour, and we're going to start mixing the filling. All right, step one for the filling. I'm going to pour the water into a little bowl and then sprinkle the gelatin over that and let it sit for 10 minutes to absorb the water. So it was on screen earlier, but I forgot to actually say how much this is. This is 1 6-ounce packet of gelatin and 2 tablespoons of water. I let it sit for about 5 minutes. It's fully absorbed the water. Now the next step is to throw it in the microwave for a little bit to melt it. Okay, so I microwaved my gelatin. It only took about 15 seconds, so be careful. Now I'm going to pour it in a bigger bowl, add 1/4 of the ketchup, stir that in, then add the rest of the ketchup. I know, I'm sorry, but our next step, we need to stir in the cornichon pickles. Okay, last step in our little abomination of a filling we have here. We add about 5 or 6 drops of hot sauce. I'm using sriracha because that's what they used in the recipe I got, but I think any kind of hot sauce will be fine. Again, no matter what, it's probably going to taste awful. Okay, that's done. It's been half an hour, so I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and put the macarons in for 12 minutes. I'm not going to move them like I usually do with cookies, but towards the end of when they're baking, like about at minute 10, I'm going to quickly open and shut the oven door twice. So let's go ahead with that. Okay, there we go. Once your cookies are out of the oven, you're going to leave them on the trays until they're fully cooled, and then spread our filling on one cookie, sandwich another cookie on top, and then throw them in the fridge for about an hour until that filling is set. Macarons don't last very long. They only last for a couple days, so eat these quickly, or in this case, maybe just throw them away anyway. I'm going to link here to a video of me trying one for the first time, if you want to watch that, so you find out if they are actually gross or not. But in either case, we have one of my favorite cookies ever for you next week. They're called haystacks. They're completely gluten-free, and you don't even need an oven to make them. They're awesome. So meet me back here next week for that. Same time, same place. Until then, I hope you all have a great week. Love you all. Bye.